Welcome to the new digs for the election board. I'm with Patricia Carter, and Patricia, how excited are you for all the work that's been done to renovate this building?
I am very excited. We are new and ready for the public.
And it was from the commission decided to make this happen, or how did it happen that we spent the money here to make sure that the public had a nice entry?
Yes, we needed a serious upgrade to our HVAC system. There was some damage up there due to the tornado that hit Shawnee, and that just kind of steamrolled into other areas that needed to be improved. We have the new HVAC system, we have new ceilings, new lighting, new carpeting, and some more upgrades to come in the future.
Well, you were so helpful with all of the field trips that we just finished. And every time I introduced you, I had a hard time with your title. Tell me exactly again your title, and how long have you been doing this now, Patricia?
I am the Pottawatomie County Election Board Secretary. I have been with the election board for 10 years, but I have served as the secretary for our county for 4 of those years.
Well, in those years, I know that you've learned a lot. What are the things that excite you about what is in front of us as an election board and for our county, and why do you feel that it's important?
I think one of the things I get most excited about is the opportunity for voter outreach. We have the new facility that allows us to have a larger area for voters to come in so we can increase voter turnout. My staff, we want to work very hard to get information out there to the public about elections and things. I just would like to increase voter turnout at those elections.
So it's not a one-girl show, huh?
No,
You're the election board secretary. Tell us a little bit about the offices that you have here, the people that are helping, but in particular, their departments and what they're doing.
Yes, sir. We have myself as the secretary. I have Tammy Hasbell as our assistant secretary, Skylar Carter as our chief clerk, and Karen Gray as our clerk. Throughout every election, what a lot of the public don't realize is that from the time we receive a resolution to call an election till we put that election to bed on Friday night following that Tuesday election, that could be a 4-month period. And during that time, there are a lot of steps that those girls are just so important on completing all those steps so that each election is conducted fairly and securely throughout our county.
So give me an example as the primary position holder, as the director. What is your responsibility, Patricia?
I am responsible for the total conduction of every election within our county, the security of that election, and for all the voter registrations in our county, for maintaining those and keeping those in good order, and also to keep all the election record for all the past elections in good order.
Wow. So what about the other 2 offices or 3 offices that you mentioned? I'm sure that they each have delegated responsibilities for you to help.
Yes, sir. Tammy takes care of our precinct official organization. We have a little over 160 precinct officials that work throughout our county on each election. She also takes care of our street guide, which is assigning, when we have new plats and new areas come into Shawnee, we have to assign those to the appropriate voting districts, school districts, county commissioners districts, and things like that, and she takes care of that. And then Skylar Carter takes care of all of our absentee voting, and then also our online voter registration. And then Karen is responsible for our voter registration maintenance, taking in new registrations and also doing our maintenance with any deletions that need to take place when someone moves from one county to another or from state to state and those type of things.
So there's a lot to keep in order. One thing that interests me is the people that I show up and I'm talking to at my voter precinct. Are those the people you were talking about, the 130 people who work with you during the elections, and are they volunteers?
They are actually paid. We have 3 positions: an inspector, a judge, and a clerk. The inspector is responsible for overseeing everything that's taking place on that election day. The judge is the one who has the book for you to sign and show your ID to, and then our clerk is responsible for ensuring that everyone gets the appropriate ballot for their district, and so they are responsible for everything that takes place on election day.
Is there a list or something that if someone was interested in becoming involved with something like that, that they could come in and talk to you about? I'm sure there's some classes and education that they would have to go through as well.
There is. If somebody is interested in being a precinct official, they just contact our office. They can come by our office at 330 North Broadway, or they can call us on our telephone, and we put them on a list. Every precinct official is required to go through training every year and every other year.
Okay.
We do training in the spring right before we go into our primaries and our runoff primaries.
Well, in the last 4 years and with your staff, which I know you guys are rolling now, I've had the privilege to work with you guys, so friendly and always so helpful with the information. What is it that you have accomplished with this office that you're most proud of and that you think that people in our county should know about?
I think one of the best things that we ever did is we added that 4th position. When I first started with the election board, our voter registration population was about 32,000. We have added 10,000 to that, and we are now at 42,000. So we needed that 4th person. Also, the move into a larger facility. We were really cramped in the quarters we were in, and I am so thankful that our commissioners saw the need for a larger building.
Well, this is your opportunity to shine, because I know also that you're very appreciative. You tell the kids all the time, and it's so interesting when you're with the kids. You usually know a lot of the folks around the county. You get out and about. I want to give you this opportunity to thank the voters and how all the elections are going smoothly during your tenure.
I do want to thank the public for everything that they do to help ensure that our elections run smoothly. I appreciate your patience and your lines on election day. I also appreciate the courteousness that you show to our precinct officials on that day. And thank you for allowing us to serve you.
Well, and Patricia Carter is all about serving. She had mentioned the outreach earlier in this interview, and that is an opportunity for all schools to have the election board come out and start to educate the elementary kids or even the junior high and high school kids on elections. Tell us a little bit about that, Patricia, if you wouldn't mind, and the opportunity that's there for schools to have you guys out.
Yes, sir. On our state election board website, there is an area that's called Vote Oklahoma, and that is a whole packet that is set up for teachers and anyone in the education field. We have mock voter registrations, mock ballots, and we can actually come out and do a mock election at the school.
One of the sweetest people you'll ever know, very smart, articulate, and the kids love her. I can attest to that. Patricia Carter, our election board secretary, thank you for taking time to explain what you do.
Thank you, Daniel.